Hey, how's it going, everybody? Shaun here from Zoobox, and as many of you may know, we have a kind of a sister podcast that goes along with our regular podcast, our regular weekly podcast. This is also a weekly podcast. It's called Zoobox Goes to the Movies. And if you have listened to any of those episodes, often I talk about, and Dan may even kind of rib me a little bit, about my collection of physical media. I am in the market for like Blu-rays and now 4Ks. 4Ks are the new thing that are coming along, and I got a 4K TV and stuff, so it's in a Blu-ray player. So it's kind of like, well, why not just buy 4Ks? But 4Ks are kind of expensive. They are the new hotness, the new format, and they're not doing super well. But I just have kind of this weird fear, I guess you could call it, of all digital media. I kind of like having a digital library. I cash in the codes for all the digital copies that come with the movies that I buy, and it's very convenient. I use Vudu and Movies Anywhere, and it kind of connects all my accounts and everything, and it's super convenient. But I still have just the thing. I don't know if it's maybe driven by just habit or nostalgia or whatever you want to call it. I just have a thing for buying physical media. And like I said, 4Ks can be kind of expensive. They're only now kind of starting to dip down in price, where you'll see on Amazon, you'll see good deals and stuff like that. I use a site called Blu-ray.com. They always have kind of like a deals page where they consolidate all the deals from Amazon and Best Buy and Walmart, and you can go there and look to find the best deals on whatever's available. It's not just 4Ks, but it's Blu-rays as well, regular Blu-rays. And while on the hunt for these things, always looking for a deal. I'm a sucker for a deal when it comes to 4K Blu-rays. So today just happened to go to Walmart. I was just walking around. I was kind of bored, killing time, and I saw that they are starting to sell some older 4Ks and even some more recent 4Ks for kind of bargainy prices. The prices kind of range from $8 to $15 for these kind of more budget titles. Well, they've become budget titles. A lot of them are catalog titles. You're going to see a lot of Lionsgate stuff in there. You're going to see a lot of RLJE, which is kind of a new one, and I'll get into that a little bit more. But today I picked up a few things just because I love a deal. I love a deal, and I'm always trying to expand my library. I kind of like buy things for posterity's sake almost. I buy even movies I don't particularly like, but sometimes not liking a movie is just as interesting as liking one. Sometimes even more. You can learn a lot more from a bad movie sometimes than you can from something you like. Something you like tends to wash over you. You overlook a lot of flaws, etc., etc. And I'm always down for interesting conversation, as you will know if you listen to Zoobox Goes to the Movies, or watch it rather, or both. You can do both. It's also in the podcast feed, I think I said. But yeah, so today I was there and I picked up a couple things, and I just wanted to kind of spread the word about this because it's a new thing. 4K is being on the cheaper side, so I am a huge fan of RLJE. I am a huge fan of what they put out. Now these were $8 a piece, so I got Brawl and Cell Block 99, which is one of my all-time favorite movies of recent past, and this other movie called Mayhem, directed by Joe Lynch, kind of a new up and coming genre talent, and they're worth it. They're worth $8, right? Like these are definitely bargain prices. The only downside to anything that RLJE has put out yet so far is that there is no HDR. There is no high dynamic range, which oftentimes is really what kicks a 4K, it kicks the resolution or the quality of the image up, right? Just to be able to use the larger color palette, etc. So with these, you get like high resolution, you get that 4K resolution, but you don't get that kind of extra kick that makes it look super, super awesome. So if you already own these, maybe not worth upgrading. But if you don't yet, $8 is a good price to get in at. I actually already own Brawl and Cell Block 99, but it is one of my favorite movies, and I want to support the format because, like I said, it is a little bit fledgling. I found out recently that DVDs still outsell Blu-ray and 4K, obviously, as it's kind of the main mover. That's why you see a lot of times when like Walmart, they carry a lot of DVDs in places like Walmart because that's that audience, that's that market. They have it kind of cornered a little bit. You go to places like Best Buy or Target or whatever, those media shelves are shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. And while they've shrank a little bit at Walmart, they still probably have the most robust selection, which is surprising. And it's not, I don't even like going to Walmart, to be honest with you. I'm not a big fan of the Walmart shopping experience. I find it very aggravating. But if that's where I gotta go, and oftentimes they will sell stuff like Mayhem or Braun Cell Block 99, and you won't necessarily be able to find it at Best Buy, or they'll only stock a couple copies. Actually, I got this from Amazon, Color Out of Space, the new Richard Stanley movie, and this is also RLGE movie, no HDR, but still, I mean, I didn't own it yet. It just came out, so that's the way I'm gonna buy it. If I buy a new movie, I'm gonna get it that way. And a lot of other places won't stock them very well, but Walmart always tends to have them because they're kind of in that budget vein. So if they can sell something for $15 or $20 or anything under $20, really, it makes it more attractive to the consumer. And I'm a sucker for that shit. I'm not gonna lie. I definitely kind of get sucked into them as long as it's a good deal. With 4Ks, they've been so expensive. I don't jump on everything. Like, I have to really want it to buy it day one. A few examples, like I got The Shining the day it came out. I got Apocalypse Now the day it came out. Some of those older catalog titles. And they're worth the money to me. Those were worth it because I'm such a huge fan, and I really just wanted to have them. Other things, like I said, Lionsgate. Lionsgate is another studio that you're going to find a lot of. I picked up today Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, which I haven't seen yet. I've heard decent things about it. I bought this more with the thought of my child. I have a 2.5-year-old kid, and when he gets a little bit older, a couple years, this will be definitely something that he'll probably enjoy. So I like a good kind of creepy kids movie. I don't think there's enough of them. Kids need to be scared sometimes. And then I picked up this Hellboy, the new Hellboy with David Harbour of Stranger Things fame. I've not heard good things, right? But it was I think it was like $12, and it comes with a 3-part documentary, which I assume will be kind of in depth if it's 3 parts. But like I said, sometimes watching a bad movie does not necessarily mean a bad experience. And because I just buy things for my collection, like I said, for posterity, and I just like having kind of a robust library, I guess, to choose from. And I don't know, it just gives me pleasure. I think that's really at the core of collecting anything, or, some people get into instruments, some people get into, I don't know, coins. I'm into Blu-rays, I'm into movies. So, and I own and have owned over the years thousands of them. I've given away like 500 movies in my life that I don't have every day I regret it. Every day I shake my head. But yeah, so just want to do a little quick video about this. I think if you're into 4K collecting, definitely head down to your local Walmart. Oh, I forgot one. I didn't bring it in the room, but the kind of soft reboot of Puppet Master, The Littlest Reich. That's also available. That's another RLJE movie. It's about $8, no HDR. But if you don't already own it, I would say it's worth picking up. I'm happy with it. I actually rewatched it last night, and I just put it on. I was going to do some writing and do some other stuff, and I just put it on in the background. I ended up kind of just getting sucked into the movie. It's a wildly entertaining film. But yeah, definitely head down to your local Walmart if you are a collector. Not all Walmarts are the same. They don't all stock the same. Like I have, just like everybody, there's fucking 1,000 Walmarts in a 20-mile radius. But like, there's one Walmart I go to, and they don't really carry much at all with movies. Their movie selection is very limited. So I haven't been there yet. I don't know if they are carrying stuff. I don't know what kind of the breadth of it is. A few of the other movies that are there that you might want to check out. I know I just was acting like I was closing the video, but I wanted to mention this because it's finally kind of gone down, is Starship Troopers on 4K, which I did not own on Blu-ray anymore, so I was happy to pick that up. It's $15 at Walmart. They also have a animated sequel that came out, I don't know, a year or two ago, called Trader of Mars, which I've never seen, but I know Casper Van Dien and one of the actresses from the original movie came back to do the voices. And other than that, there's a few. Even Warner Brothers had a few titles. The Pacific Rim movies are there, which I almost got the first Pacific Rim. I mean, I already own it, so it's kind of. It makes me not. $15 is a little too much. If it was like $10 and I wanted to do it for an upgrade, I might have gone for that. And I think it's kind of a mediocre movie, so it's kind of hard for me to justify since I already own it. But the sequel's there too, and that's actually a little cheaper. It's like 11.88. And then a few other titles I saw. Hacksaw Ridge was $10. Air Force One was 15. There's some smaller titles. This movie called Galveston. That's $10. Yeah. So there's a lot of good stuff in there. Definitely, it's worth checking out, especially if you are new to the format and you want to get in. It's a good. There's a. This is an affordable way to do it because even when I got into 4K, which about a year ago now, it was still kind of expensive. It was almost prohibitively expensive. I had to spend $200 on a 4K player, which hurt a little bit. Definitely hurt a little bit, but I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it. This is this is the kind of thing that's my hobby almost. It brings me pleasure, brings me joy. So definitely head down to your local Walmart if you're just interested in good deals or you're just getting in. It's a great place with some great titles, some great movies there. So with that, I will be signing off, and I'll see you guys on the podcast.